NATO is allegedly pursuing Cold War schemes, and Russia promises retaliation. Russia accuses NATO of carrying out Cold War plans by supplying Ukraine with weapons, escalating tensions and dividing the world according to differing views. Moscow's harsh assessment came hours after a two-day high-level NATO meeting in Lithuania, where Ukraine's future in the Western military was discussed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who attended the meeting, received long-term security commitments from the superpowers and assurances that Ukraine would eventually agree to join NATO, but no specific deadline was given. Russia's foreign ministry says NATO has pledged to support Ukraine's land, sea, and air military capabilities, to tell its Western backers they are planning the escalation path. Reported on Wednesday that it had made several new agreements to provide the Kyiv regime with long-range weapons to prolong the conflict as much as possible. More than 16 months ago, Russia started a war against its neighbors. It covers about one-fifth of Ukraine's land and keeps Ukrainian towns and villages alive every day. Thousands of civilians have died in the conflicts and millions have fled their homes. Russian President Vladimir Putin described the intervention as a response to NATO's eastward expansion, and to block the possibility of Ukraine joining. A foreign press report said the NATO meeting in Vilnius showed that the organization is returning to its Cold War preparations, adding that Western powers have decided to divide the world by responding with freedom and control. The right to find this enemy belongs to Russia, the ministry said. Already angry at NATO's eastward expansion into the former Soviet sphere of influence, Putin said in a speech on Thursday that an attack on Moscow's ally would be considered an attack on Russia itself, and would be an immediate success. Friends in Putin's mind, the US-led NATO said that the Russian leader's speech, which has been one of his most belligerent speeches in years, won't do much to calm the Russian side leader in the past 4 years. The conflict has escalated since Russia annexed Ukraine's Crimea. Russia's threats to target allies are unscrupulous and aggressive, NATO spokesperson Oana Lungescu said in a statement. Lungescu, "We don't need a new Cold War or a new arms race," said. All allies support gun control commitments to build trust and confidence for the benefit of all. A particular nuisance for Moscow is NATO USA. The United States has built ballistic missiles in Spain, Poland, and Romania, which the agency says is aimed at countering Iranian missiles. Speaking ahead of the March 18 elections, which he expected to win by a wide margin, Putin said that Russia's new technology would render the defense useless. But NATO said it was Russia's continuing military operations from the Barents Sea to the Mediterranean. As we have repeatedly said, the missile defense system was not designed and planned for Russia. Our system provides protection against missiles from outside the Euro-Atlantic area. The NATO-Russia group briefly interrupted in June 2014 after the Crimean crisis, is where Russian and NATO experts seek a forum for grievances, even though the West and Moscow still clash in eastern Ukraine. NATO takes a two-pronged approach to Russia: strong deterrence and protection combined with effective dialogue. We are determined to achieve our goals either way. Russia confirmed on Wednesday its readiness to cooperate with China and Indonesia on health and energy issues, at a meeting attended by top Chinese and Indonesian experts. On July 12, at the ASEAN ministerial meeting in Jakarta, Russian Federation Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met with Wang Yi, a member of the Central Committee and Director General of the CPC Central Committee. Office of the CCP Central Committee. Guidance from all countries, including the development of sustainable trade in the Global South, as respect for the principles of equality and harmony in world economic relations, said the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs in a statement. In the statement, it was also stated that the two sides discussed some global and regional hotspot issues, and that the activities were important to promote the ASEAN-centered Asia-Pacific regional security and cooperation architecture. Sergei Lavrov and Wang Yi support Indonesia's efforts to conduct these activities as ASEAN leaders at the upcoming political meeting in Jakarta within the framework of the East Asia Summit and ASEAN Regional Forum, the report states. He also met with Lavrov for the first time. Marsad. During the talks, the cooperation between the two sides, the construction of a security architecture in the Asia-Pacific region and the development of cooperation between Russia and ASEAN were discussed. Lavrov arrived in Indonesia ahead of the day to attend the 56th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting and other meetings.